Hello, Chris Greene here with the Flood Insurance Guru. Today we're talking about new flood maps coming to Greene County, Ohio on March 8th, 2022. Today we're going to be talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, your flood insurance options. Can you fight these changes? So first of all, let's talk about good. When we're talking about good, we're talking about properties that may be moving out of the special flood hazard area. This means you may be going from required from carrying flood insurance to non-required. That's great news. It will no longer be required, but it doesn't mean you should stop carrying. As you can see behind us, flooding can happen in any area at any time, but it could mean a potential increase in your property value because flood insurance is no longer required. Now let's talk about the bad. And what we're talking about here are properties that are moving from a non-required area to a required. This means you're probably going from a flood zone X to a flood zone A or AE. You probably got a letter from your mortgage company saying that you are now in a special flood hazard area. You are now required to carry flood insurance and you have 45 days to obtain it. You can see the number of properties roughly that's going to impact right here. Now let's talk about the ugly. And ugly, we're talking about properties that are staying in the special flood hazard area. We're talking about areas that are probably going from a flood zone A to an AE, which means they could potentially see higher flood insurance premiums. You can see roughly the number of properties right here that's going to impact. So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly. So can you fight all these changes in Greene County, Ohio? You absolutely can through a letter of map amendment process. Remember, that's the process of disputing your flood map. You can learn more about that by clicking below and finding out information about doing that letter map amendment process. So what are your flood insurance options if this does all happen to you? Well, you've got the National Flood Insurance Program. It's important to understand that if you're being moved into these special flood hazard areas, you have newly mapped rates through the National Flood Insurance Program for the first 12 months. You've also got private flood insurance available, which may be a great option as well. And you've got multiple options for private flood insurance in Ohio. So if you've got questions about all these changes coming to Greene County, Ohio on March 8th, 2022, click below to visit our website, floodinsuranceguru.com. Remember, we have an educational background on flood mitigation, which means we can help you understand flood risks like this right here, your flood insurance, and mitigating your property long term. Thank you.